check my settings. Clip Studio. Oh wait, mute that. Why is it not capturing Clip Studio? Let me check. That's not the one. Give me a sec. It's not detecting my Clip Studio. Let me add it manually. Browser source. Check. I can't stream clip. We might be here for a shorter time than expected. That's not it. Display capture. That's not good. Let me switch the Seems okay. Chat window's a bit big, but we'll deal with that another time, I guess. Hi everyone. How are we all doing today? Good. I should probably set all this stuff up right away. I was expecting technical difficulties. And how would I do that, Caboose? How would I throw an equalizer on it? Well, are you gonna show us how to draw something? Well, Buddy Tracks, it's not necessarily a how to draw stream, but it's just more like me drawing my projects and then sort of talking about, I guess, the design, some of the design thoughts, and just, I guess, chilling while doing it. Should be somewhere in OBS effects. First of all, do you guys hear me on only one ear or both ears? Because I set it to mono channel now, so it should be correct. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Maybe it's in properties. Not properties. Maybe it's in advanced audio properties. Could not be. That's good to hear. So the VOD should be pretty good as well. I'm not seeing any equalizer options. I guess I'll have to check it out on YouTube later. For now, I guess I can just start work on this thing. I think most of you here should already be familiar with what I was talking about yesterday, but I guess for the benefit of the YouTube viewers who for the benefit of the YouTube viewers who may be watching this only now, I'll do like a quick rundown of what this is. Yep, so what I'm doing right now is so what I've discussed yesterday was the idea of like a RWBY, well, TLDR is like a RWBY slash Hogwarts thing, meaning it's like it's not an AU necessarily, but it's sort of like a magic school, and with RWBY characters, well, not even RWBY characters, but characters that are quite heavily based on RWBY characters, and we went through like a whole discussion about like how that works and all that. So right now what I think I'll be doing is just kind of working on the characters, actually like drawing stuff and seeing what sorts of designs I can come up with. And I think I'll be working with this girl first. So it probably won't be as much talking as last stream, but it should be decidedly more chill. So got the outfit layer here, and this is the quote unquote wise girl, meaning she's like the sort of like the tsundere magic tsundere from like a wizard family kind of deal, and she's sort of like very responsible yet rigid, uptight, sort of what we touched on last time. And right now we're sort of like designing her, I guess, like her wizard outfit. Let's see. Right. So this outfit. Now I'm gonna try different outfit types, just to play around with a design, because there are a few things I want to experiment with. Namely, so first off, I started with like this suit, bodysuit thing. There's a few other ideas I want to test out as well, namely like one like sort of like a school uniform, I guess sort of like a Hogwarts uniform, and then another one maybe more of a different type of uniform, so I'll see where it goes from there. And I'll sort of like look at what I decidedly like from it. Let me put a mask over this. Then here. Yeah, but if you guys have any like questions about like what I'm doing or designing or the setting, feel free to ask them in the comments. I am reading them right next to me, so it's no problem there. I'm just gonna, so it's like the idea is about kind of like a magic school. So obviously I was like using Hogwarts, you know, Harry Potter as like a baseline for it, and from there, so I was trying to figure out how to make it a bit more individualized. I mean, obviously like more towards my own preferences, because obviously you can't just be copying it wholesale, but I don't want to like go too far away from the initial inspiration either. Do you always color your line art? No, not usually. Normally when I'm drawing I don't normally, but when I'm like designing characters like this, so sometimes I design characters using like more rough sketches than this. This is already quite close to finished line art, but normally if I'm not sketching, what I like to do to sort of figure out a character is sort of actually start an illustration of the character right away, which sort of forces me to figure out their design as I'm doing the illustration. Because it's like a more finished illustration, it sort of incentivizes me to put more effort, and then it sort of like lets me see how good the character looks with that design. So it's almost like I'm treating it as if it's fully finalized, trying to get as close to that final as possible. But yeah, when I do that, then I do sort of color these things on separate layers, as Wolf said, to sort of tell apart the layers easily. So I sort of think that her outfit might be blue, so I made it a blue layer, and then all her accessories are a different layer. I believe it's not this one. I kept I normally draw the face on a separate layer, and the hair as well. Where did I? Oh, wait, that's not it. Which layers? The accessories. No, I don't even. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. So this one's more of a. School uniform kind of deal. Okay, it's not bad, but it does seem pretty derivative so far. I mean, it is very much like a typical British prep school type of outfit, which is obviously, if we're going for like something that is deliberately, like when people look at it, they're gonna think, oh yeah, this is definitely like, you know, very Hogwarts inspired, then I guess there's no harm in that necessarily, in like sort of leaning into that aesthetic. But I think there's also room to kind of do sort of different stuff as well, which is what we're exploring today. It's not bad. Not bad, I'd say. Let me maybe look up some reference. So for reference, maybe I'll probably look at some I guess again, switch my browser. Oh, even this one isn't capturing the correct one. Give me a moment. So it needs to capture this one. Yeah, so I need to see. I guess I could lean into like dark academia aesthetic more if I wanted to. I think that would probably fit more of like maybe like their casual clothing instead of their wizard outfits. Because with the wizard outfits, I kind of wanted to lean into something like what I showed with the earlier version, which was the kind of the bodysuit kind of aesthetic. So something that was kind of sci-fi-ish. Which means I need to disable this mask. Let's see. Yeah, something like this. And then there's also this character that I was thinking about. So sort of like going back and forth between these character illustrations and seeing what I need to work on. Sort of like comparing them at the same time, just to have them all sort of be on the same page. Hey B-boys, yeah, we are doing the magic ruby thing today. I mean, it's what we were doing yesterday as well. For this one, there's a lot of ways you could go about this. Go with this outfit for now, and probably do like a quick color pass of it just to get a feel for what the finished design might look like. This is the one. Why did I play twice? Oh, that is huge. Okay. Okay. I need to resize that later. Do it right now. I can probably do it right now. Let me check. Yeah. Alright, calm down. I'm changing the size. Yeah, that seems better. I'll put it right in the middle. Thanks for following Shining Leviathan. I didn't catch the last person. Let me see. Who was it? I didn't catch it, sorry, but thank you for the follow. I need to keep an eye on it. Let's see. So I need to do this. Probably start with this, then go from there. So don't want to make something overly detailed either. So it's my desktop module. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, so don't want to make something too detailed. Otherwise, it's gonna be a real pain to draw later. So I'm just gonna keep it simple and very easy to color. I need this to be something else. Yeah, that seems fine. Boots to be maybe more floppy, something like this, I guess. I should have used a mask. Never mind. Seems okay. So right now it's just doing getting all the line art nice and cleaned up first, so that I can start doing a color of it. There's some color schemes I have in mind, so I want to sort of jump right into that as soon as I finish this initial pass. And from there, you can probably figure out a bit more about her design from there. Oh, that's not it. That's a weapon. What Hogwarts house are you in? I'm a Ravenclaw already. I think I've always been one and will continue to be. Did the quiz a long time ago, but forgot what wand I had. But the Patronus I got was stoic, I believe. Seems alright. Gryffindor. I would have thought I would have taken you for a Hufflepuff, buddy. What about you, Caboose? You still there? What about you? Just leave that abstract for now. Don't need to worry about the hand too much. Just be doing a quick sketch of this. Just need to clean up the lines here and there. I want it to be looked finished enough to color, but not go too hard on the full line art yet, because I'm just doing it to get a full sense of the design and the colors. So just enough for it to look presentable. Seems okay. Okay, seems alright. Now need to clean up the cape. Okay, I think we're pretty close. Something colorable. Remember to save. I need to clean up all these overlapping lines first. What's your favorite brush to use on CSP? Well, the one I'm using right now is the default G pen, and that's the one that I've always used since I got clip. It's the reason why I switched to clip, actually, because it's very much more suited for line art than because I was using Photoshop previously, and the default Photoshop brush had a very brush type feeling to it. So, but this one feels more like you're using a pen, which is what I'm more used to. So that's what eventually led me to switch to Clip Studio, solely because of the pen, actually. And then from there, so I had to learn all the other tools that it had. Usually make a mask and then mask the line art that I need to have out of the way first. That's the body. Yeah, you could get Clip Studio Paint. Right now it's can be a bit expensive, especially if you're gonna get like the EX version. What someone has recommended is kind of waiting till they have like one of those sales, and then it'd be sort of like the price is almost like halved maybe for the package. But I'm not too certain, but you can definitely ask around about it. So this is the face. So yeah, Wolf says there was a sale last month. So around, it should be every so often they have those promotions pretty often. Body copy. So this wand. This needs to move up. Around 30% off, maybe. It was quite a fair deal off the base price, from what I recall, which is still still a pretty big chunk of change, but it depends on, I guess, the style you're going for. If you're a beginner, I'm not really sure. You could start with like free software like Krita, or I'm not sure what other like free softwares are there. But if you like already sort of understand your style and how you want to draw, you kind of have a better understanding of what sort of tools suit your purposes more and what don't. And for me, Photoshop had a lot of useful tools, but none that I really benefited from, because a lot of it has to do with like photo editing and stuff like that. But the tools I needed were more towards like line art and kind of like manga style comics, because at the time I was doing like a bunch of webtoon stuff, and that's specifically more what Clip Studio is made for, which is why I ended up making the switch to it. Okay, so that seems pretty clean. what webtoon stuff did I do? So if you check my card, which is in my link tree rather, which should be on, if you scroll down on my Twitch bio, you'll be able to find like on the about section a link to it. There was this webtoon I did for the past a few years back, which was called Summoner, and that was kind of like a isekai fantasy webtoon that I did with a friend who co-wrote it with me. And that one, we did that for about like a year, doing like the first season, and that's how I sort of learned to do like all the more towards the webtoon style comics for that amount of time. So before that I was more my skill set was more towards like regular manga style comics, you know, with like the single page kind of thing, but then learning like webtoon stuff is like a quite a different set of skills that you needed to learn, because the format was very different. It was like a single scrolling thing, so it's almost like an infinite page, but then all the panels are sort of arranged on top of each other, instead of in a page where you can sort of arrange everything within the page itself. And we did that for a year, and we had like a team with like another assistant artist, which is a friend of mine, Thanksoff, which I think that's his art station name, or was it Shuran? I think it was Shuran. And then Novi, who did the coloring for us. So it was pretty big, not that big, but it was like a team that we had, which is quite a contrast from today. Although I still obviously have like a team with like the RWBY remnant stuff and all that, but it was quite a different experience because I was working with other artists mainly. Clean up the talismans. So before I start coloring, I need to sort of quickly check the line art and close up all the gaps. If I don't do that, then if I try to color and fill in the colors later, it will not cooperate. So I need to sort of close up all these things first. That's fine. Yeah, do check it out if you want to. It is the first 6 episodes are free, I believe, and then there is like a paywall, but if you are interested in it, you can check it out, definitely. It was like, you know, part of the contract that we had with the pass, and it was one of their premium comics that they did, where, because normally these sort of webtoon sites, these webtoon sites, they normally have publishing rights, so they sort of get the publishing rights for a certain comic, and that lets them post it on their website. But in my case, it was the past original, meaning the webtoon company itself sort of pays for you to make like a story for them, and then they'll sort of host it exclusively on their platform, and that was how Summoner came about. But right now I don't know if they're still doing that system. I think probably because generally it was just maybe more profitable to get like just publishing deals for existing manhwa and webtoons instead of trying to like commission one from scratch. So eventually we did stop making Summoner, but due to some of those reasons, but it was a good learning experience, definitely. Closed. You don't use the close gap option in the paint bucket tool? No, I don't use the paint bucket tool, Wolf. I'll show you what I do use quite soon, which is my coloring process. I've never really tried it though, but I will show what I normally do when I color this kind of thing. I think that's all the lines covered. This one. Clean up some of the body lines. Do I use the lasso tool method? Kind of. It's more similar to that. So I'm gonna show it right about now. So what I do, okay, so normally I just have like the one line out layer, but since I have a lot of them here, what I'm going to do is Road to Dawn, thank you for the follow. And now there's two of them. For some reason I need to find out what's wrong with that. Okay, then maybe I need to turn off those. Let's see. Okay, so first of all, these are all line arts, right? Yeah, so I just take all the line layers I have, duplicate them, so then bring them all to the side, and then merge them all together. So this is what I call my line merge layer, which is just all the different line parts merged together. So then I don't have a need for this folder. So this is just all different lines merged, and then using hue and saturation, I just sort of get rid of the saturation entirely and then darken it so that's all black. I haven't yet. Oh, but there's sometimes some details I miss out that I have to add in later. So like these sleeves, which I forgot to add. I'll just add them real quick. Yeah, that seems fine. normally this would be like the main line art layer that I'll be working from. Yeah, thanks Rotodon. Are you perhaps from one of the servers, or did you sort of randomly stumble upon here? Hey Miku, thanks for coming. I think that's fine. So, and then I take the magic wand tool. Is it? Yeah. And then I select the outside of the line art. And what it does is it selects everything outside of the lines, and then any gaps, I just have to select it again. So I see a gap here in the hair. Select those and those. I think that's all of them. And then I invert selection, which will turn the selection inside out. I just use the shortcut, which is Ctrl-Shift-I. And what that does is it inverts it so that now everything is contained within this. So what I like to do is I then reduce the selected area by 1 pixel, because you can see it's sort of like going outside of the lines a little bit. So if I shrink it by 1 pixel, it'll sort of stay within the lines. And now I just noticed there's another gap that I missed. So I'm just gonna reselect that, invert, and shrink. Yeah. Been around for a bit, not in Discord still. I just love RWBY and the community. Well, good to see you here. I'm glad you found this little corner of the internet. Okay, so what I do now is I make a fill layer, and I need to grab one of the existing artworks that I have, just so that'd be easier for me. Let's say I'll take did I have maybe I don't have it here. Well, since I am basing her on Ichigo, let's grab a reference around that skin tone. So this is my fill layer, and my fill layer, what I do is everything that is within those lines that I want to be part of the coloring, I put it as the skin color of the character, because the skin color is normally at the bottom layer of everything else, because all like the clothes and the accessories and the hair, all of them are colored on top of the skin. So I just sort of skip the process entirely and just color it with the skin color. I think I missed the spot here with the lines. It's supposed to be part of the cape. Yeah. That seems fine. And then I make a folder, clip the folder to the layer below, which means that anything that I color is going to stay inside this fill layer, and that's how I color within my lines. I see that's kind of how you do it too. It's like the sharp, you have to go through and select the sharp corners. Yeah, so I got this right the first time, but normally what happens is during the selection part, there'll probably be some gap that I missed, and I have to like look through my entire drawing just to close it. But luckily this time I didn't have to do that. Hey Joker, good to see you. Mother Joker's in the chat. Alright, so I clip the layer here, and then next what I do is I create a shit ton of layers because I'm gonna need every single one of them, and I sort of name every single layer to what I want, because what I do is I have every single separate color on one layer. It just makes it easier for me. Obviously a lot of people, they just like having less layers to work with, but I like having different layers so that I can edit them individually. So I have already like a memorized process for like which layers to name. So at the bottom is the eye whites layer, and then right is the eye shade layer, which is clipped under. Normally below that is the skin shade layer, and then sometimes I have a blush layer which goes below the skin shade layer, and then the iris 1 layer, and then clip over that is the iris 2 layer, which is the iris shade, and then the iris 3 layer, which is the iris highlight, and then after that at the very top is the hair shade, the hair base color layer, and on top of that is the hair shade layer, and then between that, so those are like my default layers for like coloring characters, and then between that I have things like the costume basically, that I just lay them separately. So we'll have a cape for her suit, for her accessories, which I just call them gold depending on the color, and then this is a choker there, so I make a choker layer. This is going to be a wand, so I make a wand layer, and then it's going to be a sword, so I make a sword layer. So it's just very meticulous and organized, which is a bit, I guess, unusual for my personality, but it saves me less trouble down the line. Yeah. Why not one layer at a time? I did that last time, but then I sort of already memorized which layers that I already need for, like, you know, the eyes and the skin shading and all that, so I just sort of do it as one whole batch. I think if I wanted to be more efficient, I know Photoshop had a thing where you could like record certain actions, and then you can just like press like a play button and it will do like all those actions in a row, but I haven't figured it out for Clip Studio yet. You need to restrain yourself from bullying SYTO since you're outside the Discord server. Well, I'm not the sole bullying victim on that server, that's Chi, but from time to time I do get bullied there. Yeah, that's the Ever Artist Discord server, so that's like the one where we have all the fan art collabs, and this is a lot of cool artists there. Some of them are present in the room with us right now. I think that's good. So next, what I typically do is then I start with the eyes. So just quickly shade in, color in the little eye whites. Yep, and then I need her eye shade, which normally I just pull up one of the drawings that I did because I don't have a color palette with me. Let's see. Now let's just grab it from this. Okay. Then eye shade. So this is just under the eyelid. Clean up any spillage. Don't normally do the iris right away, but I could do it right now, just real quick. Just drop a placeholder color and then sort of check later what I need. Then normally it's sort of free form from here, how I want to color it. Just sort of follows my mode. Good luck, but I'll be here. Yeah, you will be here, Miku. I'll make sure of it. So next, I'm just gonna really do the hair quickly. Just the forehead. So just generally using the magic wand tool, I select the parts I need, and then I expand it by. So it's like it's all. So when you fill stuff with just magic wand and then fill it, it normally leaves like this sort of not very nice border. It kind of doesn't really blend in properly. So what I do is I have to expand it by 1 pixel so that it actually like go into the outline so that it will actually blend properly. But even if I do this, then I notice there's like other parts that I need to select, so I need to go back and clean it up. Especially at like the corners of the hair, because my lines are very sharp, so the fill tends to not be able to detect it at these sharp corners, so I need to go back in manually and then fill them in again. And I've noticed this with other artwork as well. When I like go on Pixiv and like see other artists' work, if you zoom in real close, you can sometimes see these gaps at like the tips of the hair and all that. There's sometimes also there's like these small gaps where like the fill doesn't quite do its job, so then I have to go back to the fill layer and then color it back in so that's nice and uniform. Yeah, so these are my OCs, but the idea behind them is like that they are kind of like RWBY-ish OCs, so they're like clearly based on certain RWBY characters. But of course, they're not like complete like copies of them. They like, but it's sort of like the idea is to deliberately remind people of these characters. So this is like kind of like the so-called wise character. So that's the one I'm coloring now. So I kind of want people to sort of get like a wise vibe from this character, but not necessarily, of course not to the extent that this is a wise copy. Fill these spots in. The hair, all these extra details. Okay. Make it sort of silvery because it's like a wise type color. Or edit it later if we need to. So then need to fill all the other stuff. So normally I go with the body. Need to make a shoes layer. Making me want to draw again. You should, Wolf. You should. And you should get paid for it too. You gotta get that vet, man. You just have to. Not getting any younger. Neither am I. That's the sad reality of our generation. Yeah, so I'm filling this out and then I'm using the lasso tool to then go back in and select, sort of like fill out whatever gaps that I need to manually. So the magic wand is to just select the entire area, makes it easier, but then I have to go back in with the lasso. And actually, let me just copy. Let me just copy. Just copy these colors. Too lazy to get them myself. So this is the top. I'll adjust them later because obviously that would be too familiar. Cape. So for the cape, maybe here. Then manually select with the lasso. Anywhere that you would think that would be not filled, you gotta select it. Even here, because sometimes these colors can get stuck in there. Cape. Let's see. Just put a random ass color as a placeholder. So mostly it's just putting down placeholder colors first and then going back into adjust later, but right now I just want to make sure everything is properly within the lines that they need to be. It went to blue by accident, I swear. Okay. Need to make a quick one for the shoes. Shoe layer. Then all these are made of metal. So I need to select all of the metal parts. There's a single lot of gaps I need to fill later. Get to that a bit. I might go for either like a gold or a silver. Given that I might go for like a wise color scheme, it'll probably be like a silver-ish color scheme. I'll put gold for now, so because the color stands out more. It helps me see where there's like gaps in the coloring I need to fill. So like here. Then all these messy ass lines I need to clean up. Cape. Where is the goal layer? Okay, there it is. I was curious, how do you draw different poses? Do you just use references? Typically I do, especially for like more complex ones. A lot of the times I do draw it from imagination, but of course I say for imagination, but you know, it's because, you know, I kind of have like, I guess, a database. You kind of have like to build a database in your head of like different poses that you've seen or drawn before. So for like action poses as well, So I draw like quite a fair lot of them, especially when I was doing like all the webtoon stuff and just different illustrations. So I kind of have like a library of poses in my head, like a general floating in the air stance, or like a general kind of jumping stance, and then sort of like varying the angles and like the position of the arms. There was because there was normally I don't maybe have like a clip file to show it, but I can demonstrate here where normally sometimes when I'm figuring out a pose, let's say for this RWBY character, and I'm not sure what to do with the arms yet, I normally make like a new layer and then just sort of figure out like what like arm positions I want. So let's say I hadn't drawn out this arm yet, and I wanted to know how to pose this character. So like this is like the base body that I had, and then maybe would she look better with like her arms this way, which is what I ended up going with, or would she have it maybe like stretched out like this, or maybe would it go this way? So it's a lot of, I'm just like sort of testing out different positions of arms and different parts of the body just to get an idea of what sort of pose I want, and I do it on like different layers so it doesn't like overlap with each other. So for here, I think so like maybe for the sketchy one it's a bit more clear as well. Like let's say for this character, for this character I was sort of figuring out what pose to have. So like maybe this arm was behind her, maybe I didn't want to show the arm at all, maybe I wanted the arm like closer to here where she's posing, or maybe she's like, maybe I wanted her to hold something like a sword. So normally during the sketching stage I sort of figure out what sort of pose I want based on that. Hey, welcome. Let's see. So from here, I need to fill out. Fill all this parts. Fill this. Choker, I might do a different color from the rest, so I need to make a different layer. And that I'm thinking is silver, so I'll make it like a silver-ish color. Okay. This is probably black. Earrings. Might remove them later, but I like normally including details that I know I can remember. So you know like how when people draw fan art of Weiss, they like 6 times out of 10 they will probably like forget to draw her scar, and I've like done that too. Just like these tiny details that are easy to forget, and then people like cancel you on Twitter for forgetting about it. So I try to like minimize these details as much as I can. Obviously for like Weiss it's a different matter because like the scar is like a part of a character, but if possible I try not to include too many little accessories or details, like you know, like a lot of jewelry or stuff like that, precisely because I know I'm probably gonna end up forgetting to draw them. So what I try to do is just try to make as good of a simple design as I can before like adding the details to it. Let's see. Hello 390, welcome to the chat. Right now we're just drawing a character, coloring actually. For this I think I might want the wand. I might want the wand and the sword to be the same color. I haven't decided on that yet. I did know I wanted the wand to be kind of like a white birch wood type of color. Then the sword could either also be made of wood actually, or it could be made of metal. I'll need to figure out the sword. Put the sword in its own layer actually. Yeah, so let's try out a Weiss type color scheme now that we have like all the layers filled out. So for the top, let me actually just copy Weiss's colors. That will make it easier. Pull up one of the Weiss drawings I have. Which one should I take? Not this one. Something a bit more high res. That's not high res enough. Let's see. Where did I put it? I have it here. Yeah. Just gonna grab from this one. Yeah, so just normally if I'm feeling lazy, I just grab colors from like some of my older artwork and just slap it on top of whatever I need. Shenef, thanks for following. Welcome to the chat. Okay, white. Could be promising. And then actually what I wanted to add while I'm here, what I like to do is making, when characters have capes, to give them an inner color for the cape. So for the inside of the cape, I like giving it a different color. So that I just put a clipped layer underneath that, and then just grab whatever color. I have like two colors to work with. I use colors from my previous work all the time. Yeah, see, modded gets it. Alright, so if we're just gonna copy the Weiss color scheme, let's say I make this black, so I'll just lock the transparent pixels and then fill. It's not bad actually. Let's try the red on the inside of it. So this part takes a fair amount of time simply because this is like the experimental color stage where I can't decide on what colors I want to settle on. And this part normally So sometimes I make like different versions of it, export different versions of it just to see which ones I want to stick with. For the gold accessories, let's try having them silver-ish. That also seems okay. Not this one. Grab the exact color. It's a bit more contrast to it. There's a bit too much red there, I think, because this covers such a large area. Probably would go. Well, okay, that's a layer mishap right there. Probably colored something on the wrong layer. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Alright. Crisis averted. Keep. Which means. Yeah, okay. Nope, that's not it. This is not filled. What kind of color in there? Oh, there we go. Yeah, probably too much red here. It's not really a red type character. This is an OC 390, so that's why I'm trying to figure out her colors right now. It's an original character. So what I like to do is I just bring up hue and saturation, and I just use the sliders and kind of look for what color I'm gravitating towards. This girl definitely feels like a blue type character, so I want to stick within that range. Could be saturated, could be less so, could be lighter, could be darker. Try Ichigo's hair color for the inner cape. Yeah, this is kind of close, isn't it? Pretty close, I'd say. I have it a bit more saturated. It's around this color. Not bad. What about the white suit? Kind of okay, but I do kind of like the black. Which I just like. Characters wearing black in general. It just looks cooler. That's not it. So is it this? The white does suit her though, but the black does look cool. Navy blue or ice blue? Yeah, we could try different shades of blue. I forgot which one is navy blue again. Okay. Yeah, with this shade of blue, it sort of reminds you of like an ice skater's outfit, actually. I haven't actually decided what type of magic she uses. I think knowing that will probably help. Like the obvious answer will probably be like an ice mage, but I kind of want to leave my options open for now. I'll figure the rest out as we go. Let's fill out the other colors. So the choker. I was thinking if not ice, then maybe lightning, because like blue lightning or blue fire, basically like her color is eyes is sort of on the nose, so I was thinking maybe lightning or fire could actually work as well. What was the one I was looking at? Oh yeah, the hair color. So the hair color, actually, I need to adjust it. So if I took the Weiss hair color, which is a bit more desaturated. What if I use the skin color? Because why these things take quite a long time is because color schemes sort of follow everything at once. So a color that may not seem right at first, if combined with like different combinations of colors, suddenly looks like it fits with the rest. So if like if I make a pale girl, then I think the colors actually match more. Yeah, the skin tone alone makes quite a difference in the vibe of the character. Do like making a pale. It was either there were several options on the skin tone. Cause some she was sort of based on some of the older concept art I did. Some of them had her be. Let me find it. Art book. So this was some of the older concept art I did for this like similar character. Even here I was testing out different color schemes for the character. But this is not the one I actually wanted. I wanted this. Try this as well. Just start experimenting with different color schemes. It's not bad either. It stands out. The rest could go for like a more ashy dark skin tone as well. Because like Raven skin tone is actually like not like a natural skin tone color. It's sort of like really grayish. I could do that as well. Gotta keep it kind of human though. It's just a matter of the hair color. So if we want to go for the sort of classic rich noble girl character archetype, they normally have either white hair or blonde hair typically. But I actually did want to try out like a darker hair color for her as well, so something closer to Ichigo. So in fact I have an idea. Maybe if her hair color sort of mimicked her cape color, that could make for a decent color scheme. There's either blue, maybe like a different shade of blue. I quite like that actually. And I probably want to give her like hair highlights as well. Just soft airbrush and then sort of play around with the sort of color combinations I could make. I could make something like this. Kind of have like a, this one kind of has like a goth vibe to it. If I actually switch the colors around, black hair also looks nice in there. Like this, perhaps. if she has like hair like this, then I would think that she has like lightning or lightning type powers. Something about the color scheme sort of evokes that. If you want to contrast the typical archetype, then commit with the darker skin tone. Yeah, I guess that could work, because I guess the stereotype, that archetype came about because of like the whole rich white girl kind of deal. There's different ways I could approach this, because dark hair is also kind of unconventional for this character archetype. Normally it's like either someone who's blonde or has white hair. But we do want to communicate that sort of. Let me try something, because this is like pale white girl kind of skin tone. Because obviously there's like visual connotations people associate with certain character designs. You know, if someone who is tan, even though someone who's tan obviously or have darker skin can be of like noble birth or rich, people just associate pale skin with like being rich and sheltered because, you know, they don't get a lot of sun. There's just like a connotation to it that sort of stuck with people, and that sort of went into character designs. Yeah, Snow White does have black hair. That's a good point. It does look good. There's also the matter of making sure, because I do still want the character to have like a wise vibe, and some of the other characters I'm basing her on also, like Ichigo and all that, also have a certain skin tone to them. But this is very pale though. Looking at it again. Probably go on and off with it. Let's check the metal layer. Try gold again, just to see. Because this character probably needs a little bit of contrast on the colors right now. It's a lot of cool colors at the moment. Or maybe it could be her top. So this, not bad, I'd say. Shoes could probably be. Well, when I'm stuck like this, oh yeah, that's probably the eye color as well to consider. Actually helps a fair amount, because the eye color is a big source of contrast for the color scheme. I need to make the eye more visible actually. Eye. There's blue, there's so black, that's maybe white. I'll leave it in a placeholder color for now. Yellow's not bad, it's a contrast, but it's kind of resembling Blake a little. Orange is a contrast, yes. Also red, the red has its own. We'll leave it around, probably leave it first actually, maybe make it more shade of blue maybe. Well, actually, so yeah, so when I'm stuck like this, what I like to do is I just sort of like go back and forth between the different designs, so I'll look at what I need to change. So I'll just save it. Oh, and it crashed. Let me put it back up. This tends to happen, don't worry. Because I'm recording the VOD as well, so I have to be very careful with the apps I'm opening. Okay. To make this all visible again. Open back the one just now. Oops. Okay, so maybe I could probably look at this character next. Just going back and forth between them. So with her, the RWBY character, what should I do with her? Sort of wanted to go with like kind of a sporty aesthetic with her, so it's considering really like Habs Gamer, thanks for following. Welcome to the chat. Let's see. With her, probably like a sporty aesthetic, so I was wondering whether to give her like shorts or like pants. It's your auditory. Well, yeah, it's like a hidden blade, but it's a wand, so it's like a gauntlet that stores the wand inside, and she can like retract it out, back it out if she needs to. This one is wearing robes. He's wearing robes, but then I think it's over like kind of a more sporty athletic outfit underneath, so that could be an interesting contrast. Then RWBY with abs. Let's see. Could probably work, this general template. It's missing a certain something though. Guess I'll just keep at it and see what I can change along the way. Make a mask of this. Clean up some of the lines so that I can see what's going on. Right. This. Okay. Then the robes. Oh yeah, I just wanted to play around with her hair as well. I did want to sort of copy like a RWBY-ish hairstyle, but actually from like all the different RWBY fan arts that I saved, there are like quite a lot of different ways you can draw her hair. Actually, it depends on the artist. I did save some of them. So I kind of like the more fluffy, spiky type hairstyle for this character. It's like something like what Bluefield or Toomey drew for this. So something more messy in general. Kind of want to probably do something like that. It's kind of a fluffy quality to it. I think the current hairstyle is okay though. Yeah, I think it's about the same-ish. Just adjust it a little bit here and there. Be fine as is. Just a few adjustments in there. Face. Okay. I think her general look does seem pretty good. Don't think I need to change that much. It's more towards the details of like what accessories to give her, that kind of thing, but the general idea of the robe and the other aspects look fine to me. Good. Yeah, I think for this character, it's gonna come down to the details that what makes visually interesting. So like probably like the design on her gauntlets, maybe like whatever pattern she has on the robes, stuff like that is what gonna make the character look more interesting, because right now she just has a more pretty standard like robe combo going on. So I guess it would take some trial and error to get to something cooler with I did also want to experiment with try something. design the gun a bit here. Okay. So what I want to do with a gun right now is sort of like a magic gun, so it's not like, doesn't look like a typical gun. So you know, like how, let me pull up an example of this actually. So so like in League of Legends, there are these there's this faction called the Sentinels, and they use these sort of magic weapons, and these weapons are actually made out of like some kind of weird crystal thing, so they don't actually have like technological mechanisms. It's more like a bunch of crystals embedded in the gun, and then when you shoot the gun, the crystal shoots out the thing as energy, and that's kind of like the kind of thing that I want to do with this weapon here, because everything in this world has kind of like a magic flavor to it, so even like aspects of technology and all that would have like kind of has like a magical explanation for it. So very much thinking of like the Sentinel crystal weapons when sort of like thinking about this gun that she has. Definitely something like that. Yeah, okay, or something like that. And it's also because I don't like drawing guns. Rather, I don't like drawing like all the weird technical bits of it, and then you get something wrong, and then people are gonna say, oh, you got the thing has like a back-loaded magazine, or the stock is wrong, or some shit that I don't understand at all. So I just wanna prevent that entirely and just say the gun is a rock, okay? So leave me alone. It's a magic rock gun. Doesn't follow actual gun specifications, and that's what I'm doing here. So it's a cube thing, and then I don't know. If you want to reload it, you recharge the cube. Some, just magic shit. Not really concerned about the explanation right now, just drawing whatever I find is cool, and I like the idea of this magic gun thing that you have to reload using some kind of weird crystal thing that you have to charge. So that's just some sort of conveying that here. Designing it on the fly, so it'll be pretty simple, but I guess eventually I'll probably get a more refined design for it later. But simple is good. That means I don't have to draw it as much. Seems okay. That's why making RWBY OCs is annoying with the weapons. Yeah, even drawing RWBY itself is annoying because of crescent rows. Especially trying to make like a story with her, where you actually have to draw the weapon. Then you're shit out of luck basically. You kind of have to figure out how it works on your own. Which is why for like my RWBY project that I'm doing, I'm trying to like redesign crescent rows. Not to say, I guess like a simplified version of it, but also because the way crescent rows is designed, it's definitely like, it's designed as a 3D model, meaning like you can turn it around and it has all these different little mechanisms that transform and lock into place, and then when you want to transform it, you just like play like a preset animation. But obviously here I'm drawing it from scratch. I need something that actually works as something that I can draw in 2D, and it makes sense, and it won't be too much trouble to do. So I kind of have to readapt crescent rows for my own purposes. Just do the basic shape of it. Magic revolver. So the idea here is a character who is more of like a mechanist wizard. So I guess like in a D&D class, it's like an artificer, someone who uses a lot of magitech technology in their weapons, or rather in their magic. So the idea here is someone who uses this sort of magic to invent stuff, and then she uses that to fight. And that's like her unique trait in the team. She's sort of like the gearhead, who like gets all this, who understands like how these crystals work and these other types of like technological aspects of magic. Section of the cape. Not a pleasing shape. Yes, that's fine. Okay. Body. Where's the arm? These parts here. Yeah, so this one is like a gauntlet. Well, she's a prosthetic. So the idea I had for this character is that she has two prosthetic arms that she uses. So I'm not sure how she lost both of her arms, maybe in like an accident or some kind of monster attack. But that kind of leans more into her inventor personality, because then she basically invented her prosthetics herself, and then she uses it and modifies them for her own tool use in like magic and stuff like that. So that's why she like has these hinges and stuff. What Lena's gun supposed to look like? Yeah, sure, send it, Joker. What's in the DMs? Yeah, let me know when it's sent. But yeah, so she has this. So this gauntlet has like this weird generator thing. I mean, I just like drawing a bunch of weird shapes, kind of magic-y shapes. I don't know what they actually do yet, but it looks cool. So I'm just gonna leave it there and figure out what it does later. drawing a bunch of dice, basically. Okay, let's see what it looks like. So this reference, interesting. So this reference that modded sent, I guess kind of has like a steampunk look to it, but actually not really either. Kind of has like these sharp edges. Yeah, I do like the general aesthetic of it. Plus it has like this weird like rotating cores and glass compartments that have like this kind of magic-y vibe to them. Yeah, I do like it. I'll keep it in mind. I think I'll save it in a folder, because there's like a certain aesthetic I'm trying to go for with this setting, I guess. I guess I'll probably need to flesh out my Pinterest board for it sometime. It's Emily's gun from Dishonored. Yeah, so this it is supposed to have like a kind of steampunk-ish vibe to it. Okay. Lines. Okay. Seems to be turning out well so far. Close to a base outline. Not sure if I'm gonna color it now, so Seems okay so far. Probably need to redesign the gauntlet a little bit. Not fully happy with the design right now. Probably need to do a bit more detailed concept sketches for it. Could go for like a more artistic look, like organic flowing shapes, because she did invent it herself, so knowing her, she would probably like try to add like bits of artistic embellishments onto it, but then still keeping it functional. Seems like that's the sort of character, but without like, yeah, but while still being practical. Seems alright. Placeholder. Probably do a bit more research on Pinterest and then come back to this design. Because I did have a Pinterest board for it, but I'm not sure if it's matching the same aesthetic that I want now. Seems okay so far. Let's see, sketch one. I want to work a little bit more on the other characters soon, just to cover all my bases. So I'll probably leave this sketch here soon. Kind of like the general direction, but it is still kind of plain for me. Like I feel like there's like some design choices I could make that could be more interesting. Maybe the type of pants that she wears, whether like we could like add like maybe buttons or like stuff like tassels or belts, that kind of thing. But that's like getting into like a lot of extra details. Right now I'm just trying to sort of get the general vibe of the character. Now that it seems alright, I think I can save this. I did want to start on another character. Okay, so who should we go for next? Could either go for the left or the right. What do you guys think? Between these two, who should I flesh out? Right, huh? Interesting. Okay. Oh, everyone's saying right. Okay. So I need to make a new file. A4. Here. Okay, so for this girl, she's sort of supposed to be the quote-unquote Blake of the party, so sort of like the stoic type girl. I had an idea to had an idea to probably make her like some kind of assassin maybe, but I'll sort of look at where I go through from here. This is the body, this is that, okay. Probably won't keep the sword actually, that was just for flair, but let me get a pose first. So the general pose that I want. So get the action line. So figure out what directions the limbs could go. Draw her body entirely. Let me make a new full linear layer, then test out different poses, I guess. Do that. So normally I start with the head. That's what I normally draw, and then from there I sort of figure out the pose from there. I need to get rid of other stuff. Okay. Here I'm just like sketching the pose to see what feels nice for the flow. So this character, I'm thinking definitely someone probably uses weapons, but also probably has like a graceful quality to her. Hey Devious, good to see you back. Things are fine, just sketching out the characters. I showed it off yesterday and just sort of figuring out some basic designs for them. I need to expand this. So I'm just like, while drawing this, saw like a lot of little thoughts going through my head, like what sort of pose she would make based on the personality, but then maybe if I draw it a certain way, it might seem, or maybe this is like more of a dancer type pose, or maybe it could be more of like an assassin type pose, and that sort of informs me a little bit of what her fighting style could be, and it's like sort of naturally progressing just through basically just tossing lines down and seeing what sort of ideas come from sketching it, which is great because you have the undo tool, so you can just do what the hell you want. There's also the matter of that reminds me, I did actually wanted to make one of the characters. I'm not sure if it's this character, one of the main characters, or one of the side characters, but I did want one of them to wear glasses. So maybe I should try. So I want to one of the characters to wear glasses, and I haven't really decided on which one yet. Try the different ones. There's like a trope I wanted to explore with that character type. Between the three of them, because I know this girl probably won't have glasses, but I default. Maybe she could. Just look not bad actually. But probably one of the others. It does seem to fit the RWBY character pretty well, actually. Because she's like a tech nerd, I guess it sort of fits that archetype. Yeah. Plus it makes her look like not too RWBY-ish, I guess. I'll keep that in mind. Maybe not for her. Not with this combination of hairstyle. Probably not her either. Yeah. I think the glasses, I probably want to change her hairstyle up a bit as well. I'll look at it a bit later. So for her, did I collect any reference for this character? Let me check. So the idea I wanted was kind of an assassinate character. Some folders. Guess we'll play around until we find something. Probably a cape or robe to fit the rest. A new outfit layer. So sort of helps me figure out the general silhouette of the character at the same time. If all of them have the same kind of uniform, that would help a lot with the basic character design, because like I'll see if you compared like RWBY, where they all have like their own unique outfits, but then they have like the beacon uniform, right? So in Hogwarts, there's obviously the Hogwarts uniform, but then you have like the robes, you have like the vests where they wear a scarf. There's several ways you could wear even like a standardized uniform. So if everyone is wearing like a cape or robe, everyone has like the same kind of cape or robe, then what they wear underneath can vary based on their preferences. Let's say it is a robe. We'll work off from there. And I did want to actually let's see. Did actually want to refer back to Yuji's work as well, which we looked at yesterday. But Yuji's art is quite a big reference that I use for these characters. Has like the kind of aesthetic that I like, so the kind of these sort of reformal clothing. add different colored houses to the school. Well, Joker, I could do that, but it would be kind of on the nose, I guess. I would need to think of a way to make it not so obvious that they're just Hogwarts houses. It could be different branches within the school. It could be different schools altogether, like how Beacon has like different academies. There's a lot of ways you could go about that, actually. Because I'm not necessarily a fan of the house system where like everyone of a similar, I guess, personality type wears the same color. That might limit the type of color schemes we could go with. But we'll think about it. Beacon is just Hogwarts with guns. Just if you wanna, if you describe it that way, that already sounds kind of cool, yes. But I guess if there's, because everything is kind of like standardized sort of European English fashion. Maybe if they have like different cultures, perhaps different races, maybe there's several ways we could go about this, like designing to differentiate the students in this setting. Could do it like fraternities. Could be that's like kind of like houses but made by the students. There's armor, I guess, as well to consider. Could go with armor. I guess I'll take a shot at it. So we don't have a character that wears, we don't have a wizard that wears armor yet. Designs to it, maybe. Feels like a dark academia type character for you. Yeah, I mean, it is based on Blake, so that's no surprise there. I do like the kind of ornate vibe that she has. Something. Let me look up Dark Academia again. I think with this character just wearing clothes doesn't quite suit, because she feels like someone who's like had to like survive by herself out there, so she probably will have like some kind of she's someone who sort of like grew up outside of the norm basically, so either like she has like elements of like a different culture or like armor or pieces of clothing that don't quite fit the rest. So based on the the board that I made for this is kind of old, but it had like some of the stuff that I used for it. A lot of it is just a bunch of drapery, capes and stuff. I guess if maybe more of like a practical military look, perhaps. That could suit the Wise character actually. I have to test it out later. It's something more like suited for combat, like resembling light armor. Some interesting ways to go about this. Anna Valerius from Van Helsing. Oh, the vampire hunter chick. Let's look up. Yeah, that's one option. It kind of has like a pirate aesthetic to it as well. Yeah, we could try it out. Let's just play around, I guess, until we find something. Yeah, that one has like a kind of a gothic vibe to it as well. So she could be, yeah, it's like a gothic vampire hunter type outfit that sort of probably informs the kind of character she could be, which is sort of like a monster hunter, because she's actually had to face and fight monsters before, so she actually knows how to dress and equip herself to face such situations. I'm thinking like the Blake aesthetic as well. Let me look some stuff up. Pinterest board. Look up light armor as well, like leather armor and stuff. Let me find my references. Some do work, some look a bit too fantasy looking. Could be like maybe belts and stuff. Don't want to make it too detailed though. That'd be a pain in the ass to draw. Is there a faunus type of race in this universe? Yeah, I'm wondering about that too. So this Blake character, like, you know, whether she has like these types of traits to her or not. So like, you know, with like the ears, obviously that would be very clearly Blake coded if she was like a faunus. Or even anything like kind of a supernatural race, because I know that there is like this girl of the horns, so she's probably like some kind of half demon or half monster or something like that, but I don't think it's actually like a race per se. She could be like maybe part of an experiment or something, so there's only like one of her kind, so there's like no need to really like think about the culture and all that. It's just like maybe like an experiment. That's sort of the idea I had with this character. But for her there is the idea that she's like like an outsider in this world. So that could be like a cultural outsider, that could be like a class outsider, meaning she's like sort of like from a destitute family or from like a family of criminals, or the idea of like a fantasy race. So just the general idea of being a societal outcast can be communicated in different ways, whether it's through like a fantasy race or through like her profession. I mean, of course, ears do add a lot of visual interest by default, but we don't want to fall into the same RWBY trap where we just add in the cat girls for fun, and then you actually have to do the work of figuring out the people the cat girl belongs to, and then you're sort of left doing all that extra work just to justify it. How about something like Trevor Belmont's outfit from Netflix Castlevania? Yeah, that could work. Because it's either like an order of assassins, which would make her like a criminal, or she could be from an order of like warriors or monster hunters. But even like monster hunters can be like outcast in this setting, because that's kind of what Witcher is basically, where they have these guys that train to fight monsters, but then people like don't trust them because they kind of look weird and they have like monster blood in them. That could actually work, yeah. So someone who probably has like had to travel and make her own way in the world. So that could actually work if I follow that aesthetic. Well, let me actually make a new layer, test it out. So based on that outfit, so that outfit is more like wait, let me duplicate it actually. So that outfit is more of a, it's less of a cape, and it was more of like a coat, so it's more like bottom heavy because it's more like for movement. It's kind of messing my mind because I know that this character is based on Blake, so sometimes when I remove the ears I feel like there's something missing, but then without it she does still look fine, so it's kind of messing with my head a little bit. I'll leave her without for now. Keep experimenting. Not bad. Regular uniform. It's still deliberating how modern the aesthetic looks as well. I do want it to be fantasy-ish, but also kind of modern, because that's what RWBY was as well. Had like modern fashion elements in its design. This one with like the robe and the tie kind of, I guess it kind of has more of like a Chainsaw Man kind of vibe, I guess. I'm not sure if that's the kind of vibe I want to go for necessarily. I don't want it to be too fantasy looking either. Try implementing some techwear elements and just make them fantasy-esque. I could. I'm gonna Pinterest and check. There's certainly ways you could make a fantasy aesthetic look more like unique by mixing unconventional elements in it. So sometimes it's like modern elements, sometimes it's because I did like the idea of the bodysuit thing as well. I mean, this is like obviously bodysuits are very much like a sci-fi kind of trope with like Evangelion and all these mecha anime. So combining that with magic, like a wizard type setting, could work. Cause I've done it before for certain character designs, namely like this one that I drew. This is one of them, and another one of her in a kind of like an armor type suit. And I did quite like this aesthetic as well. So there's like a suit, but then there's kind of like these kind of weird magic-y elemental aspects to it, and then it's like drapery and capes. So there was a mix here that I like, so maybe I could look at them again. Yeah, I did quite like the general aesthetic here. Could probably work with this. So even with this other girl, I did try to make a suit. Maybe I could try to do something a bit more a sci-fi look to it. I'll try it out. Make a new layer. Yeah, so I just have a lot of layers, just testing out like different costumes, different poses, all just to experiment while designing, while drawing the character, basically. So if it's like, let me duplicate that other layer. This one. If done properly, I'm sure if done properly, if you merge the kind of sci-fi bodysuit with like long flowing robes aesthetic, I think it could potentially look good. And it's quite an easy, not an easy way, but sort of like a very identifiable way of combining fantasy and sci-fi traits with like the bodysuit, but then they have like a wizard's robe on top of them. That could be quite cool. Heading off for the night. Hope you guys have an awesome stream. Yeah, see you Road to Dawn. I think we'll be ending here soon as well, probably in like 10 minutes or so. Just sort of seeing what I can accomplish by then. These other aspects as well. Just like that is like eye makeup, stuff like that. Because even like one of the drawings I did with Voyager. Let me pull it up real quick. Even with Voyager, I did a very similar thing with Estelle's design, where she had this kind of fantasy bodysuit thing going on, and then there's like some pieces of armor on her, on different parts of her body, and then there's like kind of a lightning effect in a cape. I think I had like a good fusion of like some sci-fi fantasy elements here, so I could probably combine them again for this aesthetic. This is about just finding the right balance, and probably as I go, finding out more of like just the character itself by drawing more of them. Let me see what kind of different elements I can add to them. So maybe, because even like for like this character, I mean it's all like a bunch of lines, but there's like a bunch of stuff going on here. There's like supposed to be like some belts like here, so like almost like a holster going on. Could work. Belts and belts. It could work, honestly. Depends on her magic as well, so I have to figure all this out at the same time. The kind of magic they use, what kind of background they have, and then communicate it through the costume design. Kingdom Hearts strat: when in doubt, add belts. Yeah, I guess. I mean that's what the RWBY team did with Adam. I don't think that entirely worked out for them, but it is a strategy. There's potential. Normally what bodysuits do is they follow the contour of the body. That's why they call bodysuits. So they normally follow certain contours like the ribs or the waist. So I should design it based on that. So like parts of like here maybe. Yes, Joker, they do look sicky. Actually, that could work. It does have a nice look to it. Could be something there. It's kind of making me think of the magic system as well. Like, what sort of magic system would like justify the use of like tight bodysuits? And I guess like mecha anime and sci-fi shows, it's sort of like, because they're like I don't know, it's like some kind of pilot suit that you wear to interface with the mecha. Some kind of crap like that they spin. So maybe these are kind of like magically enchanted suits that are like tailored to the person's body to, like, I don't know, channel their magical energy, or I mean whatever thing that, whatever tail you want to spin to justify it. Yeah, and if it's gonna be this detailed here, I'll definitely need to add detail here as well. Could help inform more about the character. Maybe because she's like from a noble family, right? So maybe her bodysuit will have like a lot of different patterns on it and like more ornate design to sort of signify her status. And then with her, maybe if I change this to a bodysuit, then it could have more of like a tech aesthetic to it because she's like an inventor, so it has like a maybe like glowing lines and stuff on it. I could probably explore more of that today. Yeah, but I think generally I think this is a good stopping point. I think I'll be streaming for a good 3 hours, close to 3 hours now, so that's a good starting point. And I think I'll probably might draw more of this in between streams, or I could leave it for next stream, but yeah, I'll keep working on it. And let's see what else I could do about it. Yeah, and I'll just keep testing and updating it. And thank you guys for watching. So if you are new here and you're still watching, feel free to join like the Discord server. There's like a tabletop Discord, and there's like just the regular Discord for my channel. And then for those of you who are already here, then you can like follow. And basically I think I'll be sort of streaming at the same time, maybe not every day, but I think I might be streaming again tomorrow around this time if there's nothing else. So keep an eye for that. But I think I will stop it here today. So I will thank you all for coming, and I will see you guys next time where I continue on this magic ruby thingy that I'm working on. So see you later.